everybody? Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yes, day 31 here on the 31 Days of Horror Volume 4. And yes, that means it is Halloween, and I am freshly back from the cold-ass outside, taking my kid out trick-or-treating, and did amazing. Got so much candy. It was so much fun. Just awesome. I love the atmosphere, but man, super cold out there tonight, man. It's crazy. It rained all day today, so it just kind of resonated, and needless to say, I am fucking cold right now. I'm not gonna lie. But I got a good one for you guys. And of course, an appropriately titled from 2017, which I think this movie can be considered for 2018, I assume. And it is, again, appropriately titled 1031. Yes, now, I know for a fact my homeboy, Derek, D-Boogie, D-Bougie86, is also reviewing this for day 31, and I believe, you know, he's got richer blood than me, so I think he's reviewing the Blu-ray, which is pretty damn cool, so. But, I still like this cover art, man. Pretty damn cool. But this was not planned. You know, Derek's a good friend of mine, and we were kind of chatting in our chat today, and he's like, are we all reviewing 1031 today? Thought that was really funny, but anyways. So, yes, 1031 is an anthology horror film. So this is actually going to be the second one in the 31 Days of Horror I've done. Earlier in the, I think it was day 2, I did the Witching Season, which was a compilation of Halloween-related shorts, which was also really, really fantastic. If you haven't seen that or the review, check that out, because that was really good stuff. But getting into the premise of this one right here, basically starts out, it kind of has a wraparound. It's more like a start and finish, I guess. Almost like bookends, I guess you would call that. I'm not really too sure. With like an Elvira type character who is there on the TV, and, you know, she's introducing our 5 shorts that we get in, you know, in this horror anthology, which is all obviously based around Halloween. So the first one is called The Old Hag. And this one is about 2 guys that have found themselves at this really creepy house to shoot a promo video to basically sell the place, you know, to get people to go and stay there and things like that. And of course, one of the dudes is seeing things. Now, he's not sure if he's just tripping balls or if he's actually seeing some shit. And of course, his partner's like, no, you're tripping balls. And yeah, so that's basically that one. I thought that one was really cool. You know, it's got kind of one of those old urban legend type myths things going on in it. I really enjoyed it. It doesn't have like the craziest Halloween atmosphere, but it still does, though, if that makes any sense. It does, but it doesn't. But I thought it was actually a pretty cool segment. It's a little bit predictable, but it was fun. The second one is called Trespassers. And that one right there is about this guy and this girl. They've just kind of went on their first date. The dude's kind of a dork. And, you know, the female, she's up for some adventure. And she gets this idea where she wants to go to this abandoned house where a bunch of murders took place. And apparently a scarecrow might have influenced the murders and things like that. And so they head out there to check out and to see if everything's all real and shit like that. And, of course, shit goes down. That one was really awesome. Really, really great synth score. Thought the lead actress was actually really good in this film. She was pretty as hell. Thought she's just awesome. But it goes into a place where I didn't really see it coming. And I thought that was really awesome. I really liked the atmosphere in that one. It was a great Halloween atmosphere and pretty cool stuff. The next one is called Killing the Dance, which I believe was directed by... Who directed Killing the Dance? Yeah, John, I think it was John William Holt? Yeah, John William Holt directed that one. Killing the Dance is basically about this girl that has to take her little brother to her job, which is at this roller dome, roller type thing or whatever. Back in the day, I used to do the same shit, man. That was a big thing back in the 80s, was going to the roller place, you know, to go roller skating. Rollerblading was later. But anyway, she has to take her kid brother to this thing, and it basically turned into a slasher. Now, by the end of this short, I literally fucking fell off my seat laughing. It just gets so ridiculous in this one. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, but really, really good stuff. Again, great music, great score. Some good kills in that one and shit, but that was a really fun one. Next up is a short called The Halloween Blizzard of '91. And now this one right here I thought was really, really interesting. I have to say, because I swear this premise has never been done before, where they mashed up Christmas and Halloween into the same idea. Basically, the premise is, obviously, there's a huge blizzard on Halloween, and people are kind of stuck in their houses, you know? And Santa Claus arrives, and he's got an agenda, and I just really like the whole damn premise. I wanted to see an entire movie with this premise. I thought it was pretty good. Some of the acting in this one was a little bit shaky, I won't lie. It was, you know, kind of hit and miss, like it is throughout the whole anthology. And, of course, the last one, the Sam Hames Slasher, is the 5th short, which was directed by the guy from Evanescence. What's like, Rocky Gray. I believe he was the drummer. Don't quote me on that. I think he's the drummer. But, yeah, it's his directorial debut. And it kind of shows a little bit. It's a slasher film. It feels kind of like an art house slasher film, if that makes any sense. There's some scenes with, you know, music scenes and things like that. It feels like someone's directorial debut. Like, it's not really a lack of direction. It's just, I can see where he has a lot of great ideas, and it being a short, I think all those ideas just worked better as a short, you know. I think it's one that's going to be misunderstood in this one a little bit. It wasn't my favorite short, and it probably is my least favorite. Doesn't mean I didn't like it, but you know, I do like art house things, but if that makes any sense, you know, it was still entertaining, but I think it's going to be a tad bit misunderstood, but it was still pretty cool. And then, of course, there's like an end, you know, it kind of wraps itself up. But my overall thoughts on this whole thing, I thought it had a great Halloween aesthetic and atmosphere to every short. The first one, maybe not as much, but it does, if that can make sense. But, you know, the acting, again, indie film, hit and miss, doesn't really turn me off at all, because that's what you're going to get in these type of films. But most of the acting was better than, you know, than it wasn't, so, which is pretty cool. But really good scores and stuff. I know it's from the same people that brought The Barn, and I think it's the same guy that did the score for The Barn too, which kind of makes sense because it's a really good synth music and shit. Yeah, the Doomsday Chapel. I think that's the guy that directed John William Holt. Is that the guy that directed the Doom's Chapel Horror? I positive I reviewed that on this channel, and I really like that one. I think that's the guy that directed. That's one why I kind of stopped on his name there a while ago. I think that's him. But, you know, overall, this is worth your time. Another really great horror anthology. The season, The Witching Season, and, of course, 1031. And I did The Barn last year, which is, you know, one of my all-time favorite Halloween-themed films. I just love that one. It's really, really great stuff. And, yeah, I think the guy that did The Old Hag, yeah, the guy that directed The Old Hag, was the director of The Barn, so I believe so. I'm sure Derek will probably correct me if I'm wrong on this, but just too many directors, too many names and shit to remember in this. But you guys get the gist, man. 1031. It's gonna be an every year watch now. Really, really fun stuff, man. I really hope something comes more of the Halloween Blizzard of '91, because man, that short has such a cool premise to it, man. Really, really cool stuff. But yeah, good stuff. Oh, I didn't even give a rating on this. If I had to rate this one, I am coming in at a 8.5 out of 10. So I'm curious to see what Derek gave this one. But 8.5 out of 10. You know, I think my only major complaints is, and I think I said the same thing with the Witching Season, which I didn't know those were actually, you know, separate shorts, kind of like a TV series type thing. I like when segments have an interwoven wraparound story where it kind of comes and goes throughout the shorts and stuff. I like that premise in anthologies. I think that's the coolest part of anthologies, is the wraparound, and especially if it's a really good wraparound story. So, but I think that was probably my biggest complaint with this. But all the shorts were entertaining and good, and definitely worth your time. So, but anyways, that is going to do it. I had so much fun this year doing the 31 Days of Horror. I'm not going to say I'm not glad it's over, because it is a lot of work. I know for the viewers out there that watch all the videos, they see a video posted every day, probably don't think twice about it, but it is, man. There's a lot of effort and work that goes into this. I know we're just watching movies and talking to a camera, but it's more than that, you know. But yeah, you know, I'll be back next year with doing the 31 Days of Horror, and of course there'll be more videos in between there. I think I got the bug back again. I've been trying to make a lot more time to do videos and stuff, so if you're looking for more shelf videos and other things, they will definitely be coming up. But stay tuned if you're a fan of the 22 Shots of Moods and Horror podcast. Shameless plug going on right now. But of course, November is our Italian horror month. We've been doing it for like the last 3 or 4 years. And that means we're going to be reviewing, directors' spotlights on Italian horror directors. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be awesome. So I'll check you guys then. And as usual, deuces!